Hi guys, CrackTheSky here. I do not have an AMV for you today, but I'm excited to share something else with you. It is a program I wrote about a year ago. I released it about a year ago as well, but I just got through adding a bunch of updates and features and stuff, and I thought it would be a good opportunity to share it with my YouTube channel because I realized I have not done that yet. So what it is, it's a program called AMV Tracker. It allows you to enter data on every AMV that you watch into a database. It's very detailed. You can enter things as basic as the editor username and the video title to things like the song artist, song genre, video duration. You can tag the video with various tags. You can rate it. You can add your own comments and notes and things. So it can get very detailed depending on how you want to use the program. If you like sites like My Anime List or Rate Your Music or things like that, this is probably right up your alley. It started years ago, just as a brief aside, it started as a project that I had been working on called the AMV Genome Project. Basically, the idea behind this was to watch as many AMVs as I could, tag them, enter all this information, and then after I had a large enough data set, do some data analytics to kind of figure out, trends in AMV editing over the years and stuff like that. It was really cumbersome because I was just using an Excel spreadsheet, so I used the basic Python knowledge I had at the time to start writing a program to make it easier to deal with this data, so that there would be like something, a GUI that you could look at and click through rather than having to deal with a spreadsheet directly. So that's kind of how AMV Tracker was born. So let me just kind of show you a little bit how this program works. I'll give a very basic overview, won't get into too many details here, but hopefully this will kind of pique your interest. There are two main ways to enter a video into the database. One is called Genome Project entry, the other is called free entry. Most people probably will want to use free entry. The Genome Project entry is mainly for me. It does a bunch of checks on the data you enter to make sure it's all there, to make sure it's consistent, and it won't let you submit the video if you forgot to type something into one of the fields. Free entry is easier. It only requires you to enter the username and the video title. The rest of this stuff is optional. So we'll just do a free entry to kind of show you how this looks. I'll enter one of my videos. So you enter Get Better. As you can see here, there are just a ton of different things you can put. I won't put everything, but I'll put enough so you can get kind of an idea of what it looks like. So we're here at my rating. Pretty self-explanatory. It's just a rating from 0 to 10 that you can give the video based on how much you like it, using whatever criteria you choose. I like this video. I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. Can enter the anime, song artist, all this good stuff, right? So here we get to the tags. Now the tags were kind of the thing that got me to really start doing the Genome Project in the first place. There's this idea that every AMV could be kind of broken down into its elemental parts. And then you can use those tags to kind of sort the data and identify trends over the years. So there are 3 different types of tags. The first is genre tags. What kind of video is it? So I would characterize this as a character profile, fun, sentimental video, and it has some basic effects in it. So the general tags, there are 60 general tags here. I created all of these. Basically, the general tags are the way it's edited, things, like specific editing techniques like hard cuts versus crossfades, for example, or internal sync versus external sync. There are a bunch of other things as well, and if you don't understand what any of these tags are, and you probably won't right away, but if you don't, you can just hover your mouse over any one of them and it'll kind of pop up with an explanation of what the tag means. So I'll just choose some. Usually I go through each and every tag and decide whether or not I want to add it, but purpose of time here, I'll just choose a few And the FX tags, again, pretty self-explanatory. A lot of these are. The ones that aren't, there's a tooltip that pops up that kind of explains it. Most effects, if not all of them, should be covered with one or more of these tags. And then if there are no effects, you can click that one. Alright, here you can write in any comments or notes you want on the video. If the video is in specific contests and you want to log that, you can type out those contests here. If you know the URL of the video, you can put it here, and then if, like me, you tend to save your videos onto your hard drive, you can choose those. You can choose the video file path, and I will explain in a second kind of why that's why it's a kind of a cool feature. If you don't understand what any of these things mean, again, just hover your mouse over the label and it'll explain it to you. Once you're sure you have everything entered the way you want it, you can click Submit. Alright, the video is now in the database. So after you've entered some videos, you probably want to know how to search the database. And I'll just tell you, you do that by clicking this big Search the Database button. There are a few different ways you can search the database. One is just to click Show All Entries. This will just show a list of every single video you have entered into the database. If you'd rather narrow it down, there are some quick search options here that are like common search criteria, like editor, username, video title, anime, etc. And then if you want to get really detailed, there's a custom search which allows you to basically search by almost anything you can think of. You can combine different search criteria to find really specific sets of videos. So, for example, you can use this to search by like your favorite videos, the videos that you've rated over 9 out of 10, and that are, for example, drama videos. So basically, this would pull up the best drama videos in your database, right? So there are a million different ways you can combine this to search. But for the purpose of this video, I'll just show you. We'll look up the video I just entered. So my username starts with C, so I'll search for all the videos in my database with editors whose names start with C. As you can see, there are a ton of videos here. I've been doing this for years, so I have something like 1,700 plus videos in my database. If we scroll the way down here, we'll see the video I just entered. And if you click on the video title in this column here, it'll pull up what I call the video profile. This is basically the window we already saw. It has all the information that we just entered. But if you ever want to edit any of this, maybe you forgot to add an effects tag or a genre tag or something, you just click the corresponding edit checkbox and it'll allow you to edit that field. If you want to add comments, if you didn't have the video URL handy when you were entering the data, but now you do, you can do that, etc. That's one reason to access a video profile. Another is so that you can watch the videos that you've entered into the database. So, like for me, like I said, I keep all my videos on my hard drive pretty much. So I can just pull this up, click this watch button, and it'll pull up the video in my default video player. Kind of cool, right? Not everyone these days keeps videos on their hard drive. I realize that, so that's why I added this URL. So if, for example, you have it, you watch your videos on YouTube, put the YouTube URL here, and then when you click go, it'll pull up the video in your browser. It'll pull up the YouTube link, right? Beyond this, there are some other things you can do. You can search for this video on YouTube. So just click this button, it'll pull up a browser window, and it'll be executing a YouTube search. Similarly, if this video is in the AMV.org database, this should pull it up. This button here is for adding this video to a custom list. I'm not going to get into custom lists right now, but it is a feature of the program. And then if you do decide, to make any changes to this data, once you've made those changes, make sure you keep the checkbox clicked, click submit, and it'll update the video with the changes you made. One other kind of cool thing here is the editor profile. So if you click on an editor's name here, it'll pull up a little kind of mini profile thing. It basically just has a bunch of statistics based on the data you've entered for this editor's videos. Similarly to the video profile, you can search for this editor on YouTube or on amv.org, and it should pull them up if they're on there and they're going under the same name that you have entered into the database. Alright, so that's kind of the brief overview. Like I said earlier, AMV Tracker does have quite a few other features which I'm not going to get into right now. If you do decide to check this out and you want to kind of know everything there is to know about AMV Tracker, if you click this little question mark in the corner, there is a list of tutorials here that explain basically how everything works. So they're very thorough with nice pictures and descriptions. It's all, once you use it for a little bit, it becomes second nature. But there is a lot to learn. I packed a lot into this little thing. So please check it out if this is something that sounds interesting to you. If you have feedback, I'd love to hear it in the comments. If you have bug reports or anything like that, please let me know. I'll be providing a link to the download in the video description. So yeah, check it out and let me know what you think. All right, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for checking this out if you decide to do so. And until next time.